Hello everyone and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Whether you are a new viewer or a returning viewer, I am so glad you are here and I appreciate all of you. Today we are in the new to us Just Flight Piper Arrow 3. This is not the turbocharged. This puppy is naturally aspirated. So we're going to take her up to 9,000 feet today. That should be fun. But anyway, this aircraft is new to us. We acquired it over the Thanksgiving weekend, and we picked it up down in the Mojave Desert. I stopped in Santa Barbara and in Monterey before arriving here in Shelter Cove, California. Where next we were heading to Eugene, Oregon, and eventually we're going to make our way to Montana. But that's a long way down the road. If you'd like to know more about this airplane or any of the sceneries that I use, not only in this video, but in any of my videos, go down to the description, click read more, do a little bit of scrolling, and there you'll see a description of all the free and all the payware mods that I use in any of my videos, and I do my best to try and put the link down there as well. With that, we got about a 2-hour flight today, so we don't want to stand out here in the rain much longer. Let's go ahead, hop in the airplane, and get on the road. Alright, so here we are inside of the Piper Arrow 3. As you can see, it's pretty much your standard GA airplane. Nothing fancy about it. We have already done our pre-flight inspection, and we got the fuel in, passengers in. So let's go ahead, get in here into our tablet. And we'll go ahead, close the cabin door. Ground crew will take care of the chocks and the tie down. Do state saving on. We are using the 530 and the 430. We got good oil and good battery, so we are ready to rock and roll there. I have been having some weird issues with the 530. I've even been having issues with the free PMS 50 GPS. It's got to be a me issue. I don't know what's going on. Sim's updated and now it seems like nothing wants to work. We all know how that goes some days. But anyway, pre-flight is complete and our before start checklists are good to go, so we are ready to start the engine. So with that, our chocks and tie downs are removed. Parking brake is set. Circuit breakers are in. Alternate air is off. Avionics, I don't know where the switch is, so they are off as you can see. Fuel selector, we want it on the right tank and we are in that position. Throttle should be cracked open. Looks like it is. Yep, it was. So we'll put that right about there. Alternator can go to the on position, and so can our battery. Everything's coming alive. Beacon is on. I want to go ahead and flip the fuel pump on, and we won't be seeing any fuel pressure yet. We do have the tank selected, so now we'll bring the mixture up. Fuel pressure is alive, then fuel flow is alive, so then 1001, 1002, 1003. Bring that back down, fuel pressure's gone, and fuel flow is gone. So now we can fire up. So right, left, both. And start. Now we'll bring the mixture up to full. And we got a good start. Engine's coming right up. We want it between 14 and 1500. We'll close and lock the window. And it's a little under 1400, but that's close enough for me. Mags are set to both. We have good oil pressure. Temperature should come up. And we can see that we have power there. Then double check our fuel. Right tank and left tank are about even, so we'll stay on the right for now until we go to take off. And throttle should be 14 to 15. We're right about 14. I'll leave it right there. So now what we're going to do is we will make a very short taxi pretty much just flip a 180, park right here into the wind, and do our run up. We'll get these GPSs set up in the run up area as well, for in case those of you don't want to watch me set up a flight plan. So with that, if you want to stick around for the run up and the GPS setup, I'll see you then. If not, scroll down to the description and I put timestamps in there. You can go to whatever part of the video you want to go to. So now let's get our feet on the brake. Parking brake is released. Let's see, there's a guy. I don't see anyone behind us on either side. Hopefully we don't take out any ground crew. Let's give it a hard right-hand turn. And hope we don't just totally wipe out some ground crew members. And there's one. I know he'd be around here somewhere. Looks like we're probably going to take him out with the wing, but I guess a wing's better than a propeller, right? Alright, so parking brake is set. Oh yeah, he's like right on that wingtip. He's going to have a fun day. Alright, so we'll worry about the avionics once we get the run-up complete. So going through our run-up checklist, let's verify with that windsock. Yeah, we're pretty good. So going through the run-up checklist, parking brake is set, propeller is set all the way forward, same with mixture. Let's go ahead and bring the RPM up to 2 grand. Alright, let's see if that'll be enough. A little bit more. And okay, just a little bit more. We're almost there. We're so close we can taste it. That's good enough for me. Alright, so now we want to go ahead and check the mags. So we'll bring that down to left. Looks like we got about a 90, 95 RPM drop. Bring back to both, we should see it return to 2,000. Yep, right about 2,000. We'll bring it down to the right. And it's looking good there, so we'll bring it back to both. And in my video on the Cessna 172 rocket, Remus rocket, and the XP, I was told I need to lean the mixture on the ground, so let's go ahead and bring this back till the engine is running a little rough. There you see a loss of RPM. Bring it back up to where it gets to 2,000. And now we want to go ahead and check our vacuum. We're seeing 4.8, so we're good to go there. Oil pressure is good. Oil temperature is good. There's a power supply. We'll go ahead and flip the fuel pump to off now. We should see power reduce and fuel pressure stay in the green. Fuel pressure did not change. Power did reduce. And then now we will cycle the prop. So let's come down here to the tachometer. There's 2,000. Bring it down to its floor. Alright, prop's bottoming out there at about 1,200. Bring it back up. Should see it return to 2 grand. Alright, now we gotta do that 2 more times. So now we're on cycle number 2. Going down to about 12. Should see it come back up to 2. Alright, that was cycle number 2. Here's number 3. Watch it bottom back out. There we go. And now we'll bring it back up. As long as it comes back to 2, we are good to go there. Now we'll scoot over a little bit so we can check the alternate air. So we're at 2,000, manifold pressure's right about 15. We want to see manifold pressure stay the same when we turn this on. And it stayed the same. So we'll turn it off. And we verified it stayed the same. So then now we'll reset our viewpoint. Come down here, do our last check, which is making sure these 3 lights are working. They do. And now we'll check this as well. It's lit up red, so we are good to go there. Our checks are complete. Now we'll bring the RPM back down to 1,000. So one of the things you may notice in some of my videos, I don't do everything perfect. I am not a real pilot, which is why, you know, in that last video someone did comment I need to lean the mixture down on the ground, and also that the full rich below 3,000, like it said in the checklist for the Cessna 172 Hawk XP, said that below 3,000 feet, keep the mixture full rich. Apparently that's been debunked. I did not know that. I am just a measly student pilot that hasn't flown in, it's been close to 6 years now. I am recently certified as a remote pilot. I don't know if that's on the registry yet, but I do have my temporary certificate, and I'm an aircraft dispatcher. I'm not a real pilot. I'm just a guy with a simulator who talks to himself on the internet. So now that our ground checks are done, we'll go ahead and set up these radios, which, I don't know, did they update the 530? Because I've been having issues with it. I've tried to record this video, I think 4 times now, and I keep running into issues with the 530, with the words are hard today. The PMS 50. I keep having all kinds of issues with GPSs, which I've never had before. Do they update the GPSs, and is this a me problem? Is anyone else having issues? And is this new? Please fill me in if this is new or something. So we got base map land loaded, terrain loaded, airport loaded, and aviation database is loaded all through the flight sim. Sounds good to me. Then I don't know what's the point of this, because I really can't do anything. I can't go up here and change fuel capacity. I don't have full tanks. I tried going into checklists and nothing happens. And also, what is RMI and DTK? Because we're not facing 150 or 135. Nothing is tuned to 135 or 150. This part actually changes like it's supposed to. I don't know what RMI and DTK are. Is this something I don't have in this aircraft? If you know anything about why the 530 does this now, can you comment below and help educate me, please? Because it's never done this before. And I've flown this airplane for 6.5 hours. And I've never had this happen until today, and I've just been plagued with issues ever since. So click OK. It's going to start searching for satellites. It's acquiring. That's good. This is further than I made it on the last attempt. Looks like we're picking up a couple, which is always good. Looks like we're picking up quite a few. Wiring and message. Okay, what's our message? Set course to 126. We can definitely set that to 126. One thing you'll notice, I already have the GPS set up. That is one of the other issues that I have been having today, is I go to put in the waypoints and none of them want to work. Okay, so that's set to 126. We can clear the message, but we will go over the flight plan. So here we are at Shelter Cove. It is 0 Quebec 5. This is the waypoint Sevely. That is Sierra Echo Victor Lincoln Yankee. And if we zoom out a lot more... Oh. That's not... I don't know what that is then. Okay, never mind. Anyway, we're not going to turn there. We're going to go straight along the coast so we can avoid terrain, and then we'll fly towards Sevely. And it looks like it's not going to let me show you guys the rest of the plan. Of course not. So from Sevely, we are going to continue north to Nell, which is November Echo... trying to remember the right phonetic alphabet. November Echo Lima Lima Lima. That's 3 L's. And then we're going to go to the north bend of VOR, which is Oscar Tango Hotel. And from there, we'll just go direct to the Eugene Airport. I'm going to zoom this back into 50 miles. This is nice that we have the relative terrain option. I do like that. We'll go ahead and set this up exactly the same. Wait for it to acquire. So let's see here. Let's get our VOR set up. the first VOR that I care a lot more about is the VOR for North Bend, which that is going to be on channel 112.1. So that's already the first one up there. We also do have an ADF for Empire, which is by North Bend, which is going to be 378. So let's dial that up as well. That might be good to have for in case we continue to have issues. So there's 378 for the oh, it's not Empire, it's Meyer? Edward, Mary, Ida, Robert, Edward. Looks like it's for the North Bend Airport, probably for a landing procedure. We'll go ahead and leave that in, flip it up to ADF. I'll turn the ADF on as well. So then that is the local airport channel. We're going to leave that in COM2. We're going to go ahead and dial up guard because we'll switch to that once we get airborne. So COM2 is up, up. We're set to COM2 to speak, set on auto, and I have COM1 off so we don't have to hear it. And then that 3415 should be Oakland Center around here. Yep, 134.15. And let's see. Then pretty much as soon as we get close to Fortuna, we'll want to be on Seattle, which is 124.85, which is already set in there. Beautiful. Then let's see, the Fortuna VOR is 114.0, which we already got in here. I don't know what VOR I had set to, which is 13.9. I don't know what VOR that is. We'll go ahead and set it to Crescent City, which is going to be 109.0. So we'll set that one up. We'll go ahead and plug that in right there into nav2, and we will leave North Bend at 112.1. I know 114.0 should be Fortuna if I remember correctly. If we scroll back down, Fortuna is 114.0, so that is good. We'll set this one to 109 as well. Okay, so that is good to go. We'll switch it. Alright, so then CDI want on GPS. Let's see, our runway heading. We're going to be taking off runway 12. It's probably going to be that heading of... Actually, we're going to be taking off runway 3, not 12. So we'll set it to the opposite of that. So now our heading bug is set. We'll go ahead and tune the ADF up to our runway heading as well. Probably going to be about a 306 for departure. And let's see, and we'll tune nav2 up as well. That should be about 306. For autopilot, we'll leave it on heading, disengaged, and disengaged. Alright, so everything is set up, so now we can go taxi on down to the runway. Let's look where our rampers are. He's still going to totally get smoked by this wing. So with this airplane, I did pick it up over the Thanksgiving weekend. It was on sale. For whatever reason, the Aero bundle was actually cheaper than just buying the Aero. Ooh, we might have barely missed him. That was close. And so I did pick this up on sale from the Just Flight website as the Aero bundle. I decided to go with just the non-turbo Aero because it is just cheap. Well, not in real life it is cheaper, and part of the reason I wanted this airplane is I wanted a plane that in real life, whenever I do finish my private pilot, you know, maybe it's an airplane I could one day possibly afford to actually own, which would be cool to have an airplane in the game that one day I could afford. So before takeoff, got battery and alternator on. Mags are set to both. Flight instruments are checked and set. We'll hit B, make sure altimeter is good. Sure is. For the fuel selector, and I'll bring it up to the left. Alternate air is closed. Flip the fuel pump back on. Turn the landing light on. Same with anti-collision and pitot heat. I will give us some instrument lights for departure. And trim should be good to go. I will bring our flaps down. Yep, set to neutral. We'll reset that viewpoint. And doors, let's see, that's latched. And it says set it to flaps 2 for takeoff. This is kind of a short runway, so we'll set it to flaps 2. Flight controls are good. Avionics and autopilot are set. Nav and CDI are good. Transponder, we'll leave it on 7,000, and it is on altitude reporting. We are going to be flying IFR today, as you probably could have guessed, but we are our air traffic control. We'll just monitor the game air traffic. Landing lights are on, and anti-collision is on. No clearance required, and we are good to go. But yeah, so I wanted this airplane specifically because I looked around on Trade-A-Plane, and this is one that in real life, it's not like totally out of the realm of possibility I could buy this one day. I actually really wanted the Piper Comanche from A2A, and I've been waiting for that for forever now. I want A2A to take their time with it because I want it to come out and just that be a smoking hot airplane with no problems. So I'm not mad or bitter at A2A. I want it to be an awesome airplane. But I got tired of waiting on it, and I figured that the Piper Arrow is kind of like a more modern day Comanche, and it was on sale. So we bought it. And now we're lined up on runway 30 here in Shelter Cove on our way to Eugene, Oregon. Everything is good to go, so we're going to go ahead and hold the brakes while we bring the throttle up. We're going to leave mixture leaned out for now. The engine sounds are really good in this airplane. Alright, so we got full power set, and let's rock and roll. So we do have a little bit of a crosswind today, which is fine. Got to give it some rudder. And we're looking for about 60-65 knots to lift the airplane off the ground. And there we go. So let's pull back. Pulling back. We do have positive rate, so we'll bring that gear up. We'll bring flaps up 1 notch so that alarm goes away. And now I want to pitch for about 90. Try and get some trim in here, and for some reason the heading bug got reset. Don't know why. But let's go ahead and try not to veer too far off course while we get this to come back to where we want it. And let's see there. We're drifting a little to the left, so that's on. I'm going to set autopilot on just to maintain some workload for me. And let's not get too crazy with that nose up there. Bring it down a little. Come on, trim, do your job. And once we get stabilized at... That's too low now. Come on, trim. You're killing me, Smalls. Alright, and let's bring that last notch of flaps up. Let's see if the airplane can kind of stabilize right here. Doesn't look like it's going to. So just push it back over a little bit, see what happens. And I think we're going to be good there. So now for our climb checklist, let's first of all bring our prop back to 2,500. And then we want to get back to 25 on the manifold. And now let's check. We want to be 100 degrees above peak. So that's where we're at right now. We pull it back, it starts to go down. So we want to be about 100 degrees above that. But yeah, so with this airplane, I'm trying to simulate as if I actually went and purchased the airplane, like in real life. So with that, we picked it up down in the Mojave Desert, and I'm from the Montana area, so I decided we're gonna actually slowly but surely fly this thing up to Montana from the Mojave Desert. It's gonna take a while. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be a long process, but I figured it'd be a real nice challenge. So that is exactly what I'm doing. And that's how we ended up here in Shelter Cove. And now we're on our way to Eugene in the middle of this rainstorm. Looks like we're finally popping through some clouds, which is nice. We are going to go up to 9,000 feet today just to try our best to get out of the clouds. Let's see where we need to bring mixture back to now. Let's see, okay, so now we want to bring it back to out there. And then the checklist I have, it is a JD checklist. It says that for cruise, once we get up above 8,000, we just lean it to peak EGT. We don't do like 100 degrees, like rich 100 degrees, nothing like that. So that is what we are going to do for this. For all intents and purposes, we're going to follow the JD checklist. Once again, I am not a real pilot. I am just a drone pilot and a student pilot and an aircraft dispatcher. So I do appreciate you guys coming in the comments and letting me know if I messed something up too bad. And then I will try and fix it, because I want to be the best YouTuber for you guys. But as we went over, I have now 6.7 hours in this airplane, and so far it's a pretty cool airplane. I really like it. The sounds are awesome. The modeling is pretty good. Back previously, I had flown the Piper Archer. That was one of the last aircraft that I flew as a student pilot, and this feels pretty good. I do wish we had like an altitude control for the autopilot, but we don't. Right now we are getting our butts kicked by turbulence. Let's just try and help the airplane out here, because trim can only do so much. We are absolutely getting our butt kicked by the turbulence, that's for sure. But yeah, this is a really good airplane, I think. I like the fact just like well, they say that they simulate engine fouling on the spark plugs if you don't actually lean the mixture back. They do simulate oil, so you actually got to make sure you put oil in it, otherwise your engine probably won't work if you don't have oil. So all cool things that they do simulate. It's real close to what A2A used to do back in the day, which once again, I cannot wait to get that Comanche so I can have the A2A simulations, you know, where you actually got to like maintain your airplane, treat it right so that way it can treat you right. I'm going to fight our way. Oh my gosh, wow. Some crazy turbulence. I'm going to fight our way through these clouds here, and I will talk to you guys later on in the flight. Alright everyone, so we finally made it out of the clouds. I know when I left it was kind of an abrupt departure, but we were really struggling there to get out of the clouds, and we were not getting very good performance. We're not doing very good in terms of performance right now either. We are at 10,700 feet, and we don't have turbochargers. So you can expect us not to get very good performance up here, but it is getting us out the clouds. I was originally going to cruise at 9,000, but we were still just cloud surfing, and we were picking up some ice, so I needed to get out of there. So now we are going up to 11,000, and you really got to lean this puppy back to get up here. Let's flip that over to nav, so it should follow that course now. Keyword being should. Heading nav. Okay, there we go. Now it's picking it up, and there went 11,000. I blew right through it. So now let's go ahead. That's way too steep of a... Wow. That's making... We did not need to turn that sharp to pick up this nav course. The plane thinks we did. But of course the plane thinks we did. But yeah, so sorry that was kind of an abrupt departure there on the climb. I wanted to focus on flying the airplane and not talking. You know what they say, aviate then communicate. So, trying my best here. But yeah, so now we're up at 11,000. I'm going to try and get us actually down to 11,000 because now we're at like 11,100. So it's kind of maintaining altitude. Let's see, let's push it over a little bit more so now we can also bring the prop back. So we want the propeller to be at 2,400 RPM, not a big change here. 24 and 55, and we want it to be at peak EGT, which for us up here, yeah, we're pretty much right on it. We're not going to get much better than that, and as you can see, we are really lean flying up this high. Let's bring that up just a hair. Give it a little bit more nose down trim, because now we're about 200 feet higher than we want to be. But yeah, we're actually above the clouds now, which is real nice, because it was turbulent down there. Turbulent, couldn't see nothing. We were fighting it up to about 9,500 feet, almost 10,000 when we finally popped through. It's also another reason there won't be very many cool shots from the outside of the airplane during that climb, just because I was really just focusing on trying not to make a nice smoking crater in the ground. That would be embarrassing for the video. But yeah, so here we are. And this airplane's a really nice airplane. I didn't really get to finish talking about it because I did have that abrupt departure to actually fly the airplane. The sounds on it are amazing. I really love the sounds. I do think the cockpit sounds a little bit too loud. I don't know. Maybe I just don't remember how loud GA airplanes are. But I think the cockpit sounds might be a little bit loud. I mean, I could always turn that down myself. I will go ahead and shut this off. We don't need it for a while. Otherwise, I can't complain about this airplane. It flies well. I think it flies fairly authentically. And I think it's going to be one of the best airplanes in terms of like being close to an A2A product for GA that we can get right now. I do love the Kodiak, but the Kodiak, other than having like hot starts and over torquing the engine, there's really not a lot of real maintenance-y features on the Kodiak, and I think that is by far probably the greatest GA airplane we have in the game. I absolutely love the SWS Kodiak. The FlySimware 414 is still really good. That's another one of my favorites, and this is a really good airplane as well. Anything I say is just a very minor criticism, because I'm definitely not trying to hate on this plane. I really enjoy it. But yeah, this plane's super awesome. Sorry there's been a delay in videos. My work schedule kind of changed. I'm now doing like a mid-shift, 5 p.m. to 1 in the morning, which normally I record most of my videos like between midnight and 3 in the morning, so that directly affects my video time. I'm also going to the gym so I can get in better shape. And it's not even New Year's yet. It's not even like I made a New Year's resolution and I'm trying to follow through on it. I made this before Thanksgiving, so I guess you could say it's a Thanksgiving resolution. But I've been doing good. Been 2 weeks now, going 5 days a week for about an hour, hour and a half every day. Trying to get in better shape. That's never a bad thing. And so I'm just still trying to get the new routine together where I can get videos out for you guys, still go to work, still go to the gym. Plus, you know, I got to take care of my kid and my dog and all that fun stuff. We finally got the Christmas tree up today. It took a while, but the Christmas tree's now up. And so I'm working on getting a new routine down for you guys. And ultimately, I want to come out with like 2 to 3 videos a week. But right now, I'm struggling just to get 1 a week. I was planning on recording 2 videos tonight. That way I could kind of get ahead of the game. But I ran into so many technical issues trying to make this video. I think about the first hour of my night was restarting this flight 4 times. Originally, the GNS 530 here wouldn't accept en route waypoints. Don't know why, but it did not want to accept en route waypoints. And then once I got it to accept en route waypoints, the whole thing just kind of took a dump on me. So then I restarted the flight, but I was using the PMS 50, which I haven't used since I tried doing a flight for you guys in the Cessna 414 from Billings, Montana to Sandpoint, Idaho. And then that one also took a dump on me where it just wouldn't put in en route waypoints. The whole system just completely froze up. I tried resetting it. I tried doing everything. I then updated the PMS 50 and thinking that would solve my problems. And I tried using it today and it did the exact same thing it did in the FlySimware 414. So I really don't know what's going on with some of my mods right now. Primarily, well, this GNS 530 and 430, this is totally different than when I was flying this Piper the last like six-ish, five and a half, 6-ish hours. Totally different. This did definitely update, and I don't know what caused it to update, but something on this updated. Don't know what. But it's working well today. For the flight plan on this flight, I went through a little nav map and I plotted out my course, and then I just had it uploaded. You know, when you load the map, you can go hit more options, load flight plan. So it's just already in because I didn't want to try and record this for the 5th time because it was just getting too late for me to keep having to re-record the same video I've already recorded over and over and over again. But I can't hate on the airplane. It's not the airplane. Microsoft Flight Sim updated. I remember having to download an update earlier today. So I know it's something with the sim, not with the airplane, so I'm not going to hate on Just Flight for that. I'll hate on Microsoft Flight Sim because that's where the issue came from, like normal. I seem to find every bug that Microsoft Flight Sim has. But yeah, so this is Cruise. I'm going to try and get some cool outside shots for you guys so we can do that cool intro at the beginning of the video. Let me know what you think of doing that, like, I don't know if B-roll's the right term, but those outside shots at the beginning of the video. I'm going to slowly work on getting cool clips and then make like an intro video before every video, which would be really cool, but it's going to take time. But let me know what you guys think of it. I'll try and do it more often. But yeah, so I'm going to get to cruising, get recording some video for you guys, and I'll see you guys when we get way closer to Eugene. Alright everyone, welcome back. We're just about 10 minutes out from the waypoint of Vaughn. I got in the GPS set up to do the RNAV, I believe it's the RNAV Yankee in the runway 34 left in Eugene. So we're about 10 minutes out from Vaughn, which if we descend at 500 feet per minute will get us down to 6,000 by Vaughn. Then we're going to work to get down to 2,900 to actually get into the airport. So for a descent checklist, let me pull it up on the other computer real quick. Descent checklist, avionics and GPS are set, ILS frequency is good, mixture will work on. Fuel tanks, they're about even right now, so I'll leave it as is. So we want to bring the prop up to 2,500. There's 2,500, and we're just going to decrease our speed until we get a nice 500 foot per minute descent rate. Which, from what the manual says, we don't want to drop it below 14 inches on the manifold for too long, because then we risk cooling the engine too much. And at these temperatures, we are picking up some icing, so I definitely don't want to do that. Okay, we might have to force the airplane to descend at 500 feet per minute. Alright, let's push the nose over. And let's force it. Yeah, so this airplane's really cool. I like this airplane. It flies nice. The only real complaint is, I talked about earlier, but I think the cockpit noises are just a little bit loud. And I wish it had a altitude hold function on the GPS, on the autopilot. That'd be super convenient. See, so we're gonna get there in 7 minutes now. So we actually are gonna want to descend probably about 750 feet per minute. That might have been too much, nose down. I mean, if we get to 6,000 a little faster than Vaughn, that's okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn this to Eugene approach. And let's get the chart pulled back up. Tower frequency for 3-4 left is 1189. Let's get that plugged in. 1189. Then let's turn off COM 1, see if we can pick up the ATIS information for Medford. Doesn't sound like we're going to pick it up. So put it back on guard, turn COM 1 back on. Zoom in. Yeah, so we're not going to hold here at however you pronounce that. Once we get to Vaughn, we're just going to go 90 degrees off the runway, which should be a 074 heading. Intercept right here, and it looks like we should be able to just do a visual approach in. But we are not descending fast enough. Holy mackerel. We do not want to come out the sky. Most of the time getting here, we did not want to actually maintain altitude. We kept dropping. We dropped dramatically, and then we climbed dramatically, and now all we want to do is stay at altitude. Plane doesn't want to make up its mind. But this is probably the nicest part of our entire flight here on descent into Medford. That's a-okay with me. I had to do a instrument approach in this thing going into Santa Barbara, and I'm definitely not very good at trying to follow off these two gauges when you can't see outside. I definitely need to practice that a lot more, so I'm happy being able to actually look out the window, seeing the ground, seeing the airport once we get closer. Visual approaches are definitely more my style in this thing. Trying to intercept an ILS I'm not very good at. But we do got the DMV here pulled up. The DME pulled up. We're about 10 minutes out, doing 150 on the ground, 25.6 miles. And that's going to be the DME off of 16 right, I believe it is. They don't I couldn't find a ILS chart for this runway. So we're going off the other runway. The opposite, just so that way we can get time, distance, information. And somewhere out there is Medford. I'm not sure where. Okay, it looks like Medford sits to the right of this lake. That might be our airport right there. That little clear spot. Or it might be over here. It's somewhere in this vicinity, because it sits to the right of this kind of horseshoe-looking lake. And we just do not want to come out of the sky. Holy moly. Bring that back a little bit more. Let's go ahead, go through our approach. Approach is supposed to be at 15 nautical miles to go. We're at 23. Got our landing lights on, fuel pump on, air conditioning. We want to go ahead and turn off. Fuel selector, we want to set to the fullest tank, which would now be our right-hand tank. So let's get that popped in. RPM, we want to go to full forward. Let's go ahead and do that now. That should help slow us down, get us a little bit extra drag. Now altimeter needs to be set, so we'll do the magic B key because we like to keep it realistic. And we're coming up on Vaughn, so we're still about, what would that be, 1,600 feet higher than I want to be. Here at, let's see, that'd be Ikaka, I believe. Not sure exactly. We're going to want to go all the way down to, should be 2,900 feet. Yeah, 2,900 feet, so we'll just keep on descending the best we can. And we need to check on our mixture. That's 100 richer than peak. And, oh yeah, now we can see for days. Yeah, that might be our airport. It might be this. It's somewhere in this kind of square rectangle I'm trying to make with the mouse. It's in there. I've never actually flown into this airport. Both Shelter Cove and this airport I got off the TO. You can never seem to go wrong there. Once again, I'll try and put that link down in the description. It's usually at the very bottom, so you're really going to have to click read more and just keep scrolling. But yeah, I hope you guys have so far enjoyed this flight. It's really pretty now that we're actually out of the clouds, getting ready to land. A lot better weather, that's for sure. Alright, and see, we're 4.2 miles out from Vaughn. Once we begin our right-hand turn, I'm going to click it over to... Oh, I think we're actually going to make 6,000 by Vaughn. That'll be nice. Once we get in that right-hand turn, I'm going to go ahead and click this over to heading mode, but I'll wait till it says we're about to turn. Should flash a little indicator on there. Now let's go ahead and actually try and level out. That way we don't bust 6,000 at Vaughn. It was too much leveling out. But here we go. Now we got a real nice approach. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. That doesn't happen very often, so I guarantee we'll mess something up here once we get past Vaughn. Because it's not often that I can do this without messing up a bunch of things. And then I don't like pre-record anything, so you're watching this as I do it, so I'm trying to talk, fly, look at my little tablet on the other screen. Hey, there's the runway. See the lights. Look at the tablet, do about 16 things all at once. Not my specialty, but I make it work. Alright, so we should be getting ready to turn here. We're 1.2 miles out. I'm going to go ahead and flip on the heading. And why do we not want to follow the heading? Let's do that, maybe. Why don't you want to follow the heading? I want you to follow heading, but you do not want to follow heading, because apparently you're the airplane and you know better than I do. Okay, heading hold on, heading off and on. That didn't work. Alrighty then. Well, let's see, what if we do that again? Okay, nav, heading. Okay. Don't know why that was being like that, but there we go. So now it should roll us into our heading. I'm going to just turn it off here in a little bit anyway, especially now that we got a visual on the runway. And we really want to work on trying to slow this puppy up, so let's bring that back down to 15. Let's go ahead and let's see, where's peak? Peak's right there. So just bring it up to where it's just about ready to drop off. So that's good. Maintaining this heading. Let's go ahead and go back to flight plan. And then we want to go ahead and activate this leg. Actually, nope. We want to menu activate this one. That's the one we want to activate. We'll zoom that in. Let's push that back to nav. And now we're ready. So we got a real nice visual on the runway. We won't even need to follow that, but we'll have it dialed up, and we'll also dial this up. That's the ILS into 1.6, so all this is going to behave backwards because we're flying the opposite runway. Get that dialed in. So then we at least got some lateral guidance as we get in a little bit closer to the airfield. Man, that's pretty. Let's take a screenshot of that. Why not? Let's see, F12. Why not take a screenshot? So we're still coming in a little hot. A little hot and a little high. Let's see, where's our peak? So yeah, so now we want to bring it to where it's just barely off screen, which is almost full. Alright. Yeah, so I plan on making more videos in this as we travel to Montana. And once we get to Montana, I think we're going to take it somewhere else, because why fly just to Montana and then fly it around Montana when we can go to the whole world? Okay, maybe not the whole world in this. That's probably a little ambitious. But we can go to the whole country. I mean, we could fly to Florida, we could fly to New York, we could fly to Meigs Field. There's so many possibilities. I think this will be like the new little mini series I do. I do still have big plans. It's going to be like a 3 or 4 part video in a different airplane. I can't remember if I've already told you guys what airplane it's going to be, so I'm just going to pretend that I didn't and keep it a secret, because I want it to be a surprise. If I told you in the last video, I guess it won't be as much of a surprise, but I'm going to pretend that I didn't tell you guys. So, we got a very clear visual. I can see it. We'll just go ahead and start a slow right-hand turn going to the airport. We are dialed up to the tower frequency. I'm pretty sure I switched it. I did not switch it. Let's go ahead and switch that. We got COM 1 active. COM 2 is up. And that's probably a little bit too fast of a turn. But, you know, a nice 45-degree angle for intercept wouldn't be bad. Coming in for visual landing. We pretty much got everything good. We just got to start working on getting our speed down. But we should have enough speed to actually get our first notch of flaps out. Oh. That was a little dramatic. Alright, then we'll go ahead and we can probably leave mixture where it's at. That probably won't be the end of the world. Maybe just bump it up 1 or 2 notches. There we go. Keep descending. I'm going to bring power back just a little bit. I don't want to... the checklist by I think it was by JD, maybe it was a different checklist that I have, but it says you don't want to run it below 14 inches of manifold pressure for too long, otherwise you risk getting some... We're not on Seattle Center. This should be the tower. I don't know why we're picking that up. But it says that you don't want to run it below 14 inches of manifold pressure for too long, because otherwise you'll risk icing up the engine. I don't know if it actually simulates that or not. That'd be something good to find out. But I want to be quiet now, and we're going to go ahead, take it in for a land. I'll talk to you guys on the ground. Alright, and so now we're turning off here off of, let's see, I know what runway we land on. 3-4 left, that's the one we landed on. So once we get clear of the line here, we'll go ahead do our after landing checks, and then we'll taxi over to the FBO, which we won't have to go too far. I can already see it just right there off of our nose. I can already see that FBO. So we'll get the parking brake set. After landing, flaps can come up, which I'm pretty sure I pulled those up on as we turned off. Fuel pump can go off. Landing light can go off. Pitot heat can go off. Anti-collision go off. We don't need the instrument lights on. See, let's get this engine brought up so we can lean it back. Yeah, we'll bring it right up there to about 1400. Let's get an RPM drop. There it goes. So put it about right there. And then that is all we can do until we get in for parking. Alright, so here we are parked at the FBO. You guys will probably enjoy that weird loop I did because I had no clue where I was going. I forgot to pull up the taxi diagram. But anyway, we got the parking brake set. Avionics, I don't know where the master switch is. We can go ahead and turn that transponder down to off since we're parking. We will flip that to off, flip the ADF to off. Maybe if we turn the comms all the way off, it'll shut off like in real life? No. Okay. Well, we tried, right? So those are off. Autopilot's off. Gear is down. Throttle is right about 1,000. Let's just push it up a little bit more. So there's 1,000. We'll bring it up to 1,400. That's 1,300. I'm reading the wrong notch. There's 14. And then we'll go ahead and bring the mixture to cutoff. And it is killed. Magnetos can go off. Alternator and battery both go off. And the airplane is parked. Go ahead, open this window, let some fresh air in. Say the ground crew threw some chocks in there. We'll go ahead, pop the door open. And I'll see you guys once I get everything unloaded. Alright, so the airplane is all tied down. It's chalked. It's locked. We took everything out of it because, you know, we don't want to come back and have something stolen out of it. Hopefully Atlantic, though, will take better care of us than that. Hopefully we don't come out on blocks or have, like, some radios missing. That would be pretty unfortunate. But we have successfully made it to Eugene from Shelter Cove. And I don't know where our next stop will be. We're going to work our way out to Montana. This is going to be a noodle series. I should hopefully make a playlist for this. But I'm going to do this series of 2911 Papa. It'll be its own little series. The journeys of our little Piper Arrow. And, yeah. I got some other cool things in the works. Just a matter of getting down this routine, getting time, and I really want to make more videos for you guys. So if you can put something down in the comments, let me know what I'm doing right. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. I want to make this the best YouTube channel for you guys. And no matter how long you were with me for this journey, I just want to say I appreciate every one of you. You guys are amazing and awesome, and I can't say enough good things. We finally passed 160 subscribers. That was kind of cool. Thank you guys. I'm still pretty impressed that 160 something of you guys like me that much. And so now, I guess we'll have to call it a day until next time. Once again, thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for everything. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate all of you. And I hope you guys have great days and great lives, and we'll see you next time. Stay awesome.